I've raised her well. All right, so welcome back to well, I guess it's not back because this is the first showing episode 36 of Merriwether's World. I am your host, Dr. Mark Merriwether Vorderbergen, creator of Foraging, Texas, writer of the Idiot's Guide Foraging, creator of the Wazoo Foraging bandana, and other things too. My day job. Well, we'll get into the day job situation. Wow. So my computer is still giving me lots of problems. So I have kind of a jury-rigged system here. Not all the bells and whistles I normally have. So no presentation. If I want to show you something on the other screen, I gotta show you something by moving the camera. So, hey, we got some people, but I can't even see people. Wait. I think I recognize. Oh, okay, Nick. Let's see. Oh, okay. Hey, Miguel, Deborah, and Nick. Excellent. Some people who cherish me more than the Astros. Awesome. You may have noticed, when I have my glasses on, everything is all blurred out there. But, well, for you, and then when I take them off, I can't see anything. But we'll just try this. Anyway, hopefully you can all hear me. I don't have the volume control that I normally do. I can't see a thing, so let me put these back on. So we're just going to have to play it by ear. Okay, since we don't have all the cool bells and whistles, I can't do a presentation, so tonight's episode is mainly going to be just me answering your questions. Unfortunately, I'm not... Wait. Ah, hey, there we go. Okay. Whoa, Chris, you turned off PBS. What's on PBS tonight? Is it some Kim Burns thing? Oh, yeah, better wear your serious commenters. That's the thing with sports, is they just don't have the people doing the color that they used to. I did a little bit of color for hockey way back in Minnesota. Growing up there, I worked for a public access TV internee sort of thing. It was fun. Hey, Chris. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Kiri. Hey, Wade. All right. Oh, multiple Chris's. Nope. Same Chris. Nope. Multiple Chris's. Okay. Let's see. So what's going on here? First, sponsors. Tonight, it is Wazoo Survival Gear and Uncommon Bees. And you can see I've been tapping this honey. So both are two great people that have been very, very helpful to me. So let me just put up, I'm putting up a link here. So it has the sponsors and the Foraging bandana from Wazoo, the Uncommon Bees store, my Amazon store, and of course the Foraging Texas t-shirts over on Cafe Press. Now, I have to disclose that if you go and purchase things from these sellers, I get some money from them. So it's, quid pro quo. I wonder if I'm going to get investigated. But the fact that I'm disclosing it to you should cover me as far as the FCC regulations go. So yes, if you purchase anything from these people, I get, a kickback. But they're okay. Whoa, Kira, you're under a freeze warning? The weather here is wonderfully cold, but I don't think we're getting down to the freezing yet. It has been cold and rainy the last few days, which has made it an absolutely fantastic time for oyster mushrooms. Those of you following my Facebook and Instagram saw the mushrooms that we had for supper tonight. Awesome stuff. Oh, hey, Joe. Welcome to the gang. Joe and I go way back. Joe, let's see, looking at the list, I think I've known Joe at least 10 years longer than anyone else I'm seeing on here, maybe farther. Way back when I had the adventure blog into the borderlands.blogspot.com. Every so often I would have Joe write some guest articles for me. Excellent job. So good to see you here, Joe. Thumbs up. Wow. This camera makes my teeth look really white. Okay, not what you came here for. Oh, Jackie. Okay, Jackie and Joe, I know them both from about the same time. So we got a race going on here. I guess we'll just let the two of you fight it out. So a lot has changed since the last week's performance. Most of you know that the company I work for did a strategic refocusing and is pretty much getting rid of their consumer products, so they don't need a consumer products R&D division, aka me. Yeah, so last Friday I got the news. One day after my 3rd year anniversary there, I was laid off. The shock is pretty much worn off. I actually suspected it was coming just because of some of the things going on at the company and some of the issues, especially with the state of California. I'll tell you right now, trying to sell stuff in or to California is a pain in the tuchus. And it ended up just being more trouble than it was worth. Pardon me. So, hey, Kenneth, Kenneth Coleman, he is Uncommon Bees, who I already promoted. He has some amazing stuff. I need to get you on here, Kenneth, so you can talk about other really cool stuff you've developed with the bees. But anyway, back to my horrific job loss. Yeah, it was horrific. I'm heartbroken. So I got some severance, and they're paying me back for vacation time, which turned out to be more than was expected because of a HR error. So it's been good. That being said, you all are, oops, there was a ding there. I need to turn the sound off. When I first announced it, a bunch of people asked how they could help. And so if you go onto the Foraging Texas Facebook page, or sorry, the www.foragingtexas, very top post there, help. It talks about how you can purchase from, these sponsors and the amount I get from them if you do. There's also a donation thing where you can donate directly to me via PayPal. That being said, thank you all for who have done that already. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the optimist role, and I am just storing it and leaving it there and not touching it until absolutely no other option is available. The plan is to be gainfully employed before I have to touch that, and hopefully I can give it all back to you. So that is what I'm aiming to do, and God be with us, that will happen. So I've actually had some really good job leads. Downside is the companies that want me the most are not actually located in Houston or even in Texas. And the one that's really begging for me is Illinois. And I, basically said that, if worse comes to worse, yeah, but I'm really, really going to try everything I can to stay in Texas and really not move. I don't want to disrupt the girls from high school or anything like that. So the goal is to stay right where I am and, this wonderful downtown. Well, I don't think Spring has a downtown, but here in Spring, in the kitchen, where I normally do my show. So that is the plan. And, Carol Leonard Clark, can you tell us how much it would cost to hire you for a private foraging class for a group? Okay, so private classes depend a bit on location and, well, actually a lot on location. So in the past, I have done a number of classes for some fairly well-off survivalist type things who are excellent people to do survival classes for. And my going rate was $600 to go out there, spend at least 4 hours looking at their property, showing them all the stuff they could eat, and then driving home. Then along with the $600, if they lived more than an hour away, there was a little more tacked onto that. But hey, since we are low right now, we have me will cut you a deal. So if you email me at Merriwether at foragingtexas.com, we can try and work something out. But if you're within like a hour distance of Houston, it's probably still going to need to be $300 to $400 to come out there, just because that is time away from my job hunt. But I am available on the weekdays now with some advance warning. So if you are available on weekdays, that's better. Basically, starting this Saturday, my weekends are booked up until just about May. So weekends become a little bit trickier. So But that being said, there's still every so often people cancel or things like that, or they get laid off from work and can't afford me. But I think it's still going to be $300 to $400 to drive, who knows where in Texas, and spend a lovely day with you. But there's balance that has to be done. What else do we got? Okay, yeah, me too, McGill. I really don't want to leave here. No, Jackie, I don't. So I'm doing everything I can. Wife and I have been talking. Worst comes to worst, that I set up a shack somewhere. Let's say I end up, no other option but to take the job in Illinois. She and the girls would stay here through, finishing high school, whereas I would just kind of stay up, wherever the job may take me. There are some in Texas that I'm looking at. Also, there is a number of contract possibilities. I have a good reputation apparently through the Texas chemistry world, oil field and consumer products and stuff like that. So a number of company, okay, one company has asked if I would be willing to do some week-long contract work up in their labs here in Texas. And so that's a possibility too. So like I said, we're doing everything I can to stay here. Hey, John, good to see you, man. John is an old oil field buddy of mine. Multiple kids. You're what, 2 or 3 now? I forget. Awesome guy. Russ joined. Hey, Kevin. So if a question comes up about tinctures, it's usually Kevin. But yeah, definitely Longview. We need to set something up there now that you got the pigs around and we got cold weather and I have a day off to do some butchering. So yeah, we'll work for pig meat. Actually, we're more willing to work for pig meat, assuming it's a small pig, than venison, just because I like pig more than venison. Yeah, Carrie, you're way up in like North Texas or even outside of Texas now, aren't you? But it's definitely cold. Okay, if anyone is watching the game, if you could occasionally post the score. Hey, Dylan is 3 already. Damn. So yeah. Now, is he your only son, John? I was thinking you had more. I hope I'm not getting you in trouble. Okay. Oh yeah, it's a deal. Yeah, we need to take care of your knee, Tina. All right. So, yeah, that's what I got. So what plant questions do you have this week? Otherwise, we'll shut it down. Ooh, you're setting the trap tomorrow. Cool. Sorry. One thing I noticed now that I'm home all the time is I'm not getting as hydrated as I used to be. Because it's actually too convenient. At my old job, I actually had to walk across the plant with my thermos and fill it up in the main building and come back. But then I would end up drinking a big thermos of water plus the big thermos of coffee. And here it's convenient, so I never think about it. Okay, Chris McMartin, foraging related question, sort of. Our red oak in our front yard died. Looking to replace it with a white oak of some species. Bur oak or post oak are native to this area? It's bur oak. Definitely go with bur oak. Now, bur oak is slower growing, but the acorns are huge and they contain a lot less tannic acid. Sometimes you get a good bur oak where you have to do minimal or sometimes even no leaching of the acorns. So the white oak, you definitely want to go with bur. Keep in mind with white oaks, they produce acorns every other year, whereas the red oaks produce every year. So you won't have the acorns every year, but the ones you get will be a much higher quality than any of the red oaks. Ooh, Astros won, them 0. Yay! Go Astros, beat Walgreens. Julie Brown, there's a guy my husband used to work for that got his own show. All he did was pretend to fish. You've got enough people behind you to think you could do it. Excellent, thank you. If you know how he convinced people to pay him to pretend to fish, I would love to know that, because I'm willing to like really fish. I enjoy fishing. I can go, hey, William, I can go out and, forage and so forth. Like I said, Uncommon Bees and I was out at their land out in East Texas 2 weeks ago and shot a bunch of video, but I still haven't been able to get my computer to run more than one program at a time without crashing. I just today finished wiping it and reinstalling the operating system and getting a browser on here so I can at least do the show. Oh, and I was able to save all my photographs too, so thank God for that. But when I tried to do any video editing, it just, so we got that going. Cami Flemons, have you ever seen white wood ear mushrooms? I have a tree with white and brown, wondering if they're edible as well. I have seen white jelly fungus. If you Google white jelly fungus, it will bring up something that's kind of in the same family. The edibility is still under debate of these white jelly fungus. Do they grow more in a like a multiple layered clump, or do they form, you know, the individual ears? I'm assuming it almost looks, well, not like cauliflower, but kind of a floppy mass of floppy funginess sort of thing. But yeah, if you just look up white jelly mushroom and see if that is what you have on your tree. At best, starvation food. Hey, Tammy. But we'll see. Jennifer Bell, dedication is good. Hey, Julie, they're definitely wood ear. Interesting. Okay. White or gray, a very light gray, because a lot of times the wood ear, the inside will be brown jelly looking, and the outside will be a almost like the Mustang grape underside of the leaf, where it's just kind of a gray, velvety, very, very fine nap thing. Exactly the same. Okay, Cami, send me pictures because I'm really intrigued by this, because I have never encountered white jelly ears, and I've never encountered them in the woods, in the wild, or in any literature. So I'm really, really intrigued by this. All right, we're going to start. Yeah, PC fun for Mark. I'm in for Morty. Yes, thank you, Kevin. Definitely, that would help the whole system. After her little dance number, there wasn't any even reason for Merriwether to hang out here other than to be, you know, wonderfully distracting behind me. So yeah, we're working at it. Talking about you, dedicated, all you did for us today. I don't know what I did for you today. I drank tea and coffee, and oh well. I plan on doing lots more, but that's good. I'm in, but you think it's a software issue? I can guarantee, Tina, this is a hardware issue. It's an old computer. Hello, there she is again. It's an old computer, and with the updated, you know, the Mac updated their operating system, and so it kind of is now chugging along to try and keep it going. Because there is nothing on my computer right now except the normal Apple software, like Photos, the iTunes, and something, one of the others, Photos and iTunes. And the Safari browser. I'm actually had to download the Chrome browser to do this tonight. And then I had the, and QuickTime is on there. Oh, and Microsoft Word and PowerPoint. Oh, and iMovie. And like I said, one program at a time was fine, but once I opened up two, Crash City, and everything was reinstalled from the initial, you know, factory blank settings. So I don't know. We'll see. Just sent it via private message since I couldn't attach it. Okay. Oh, hey, BJ. I'll have to check out your let me see. Can I, if you all bear with me, we're going to see if I can pull up Chris's mushroom picture. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Ooh, interesting. Let's see if I can do this. All right. It would really help if I could see the underside of these, but I can't. So there's a number of things they could be. Oops. Bring me back. All right. Hopefully you can see that. and I wasn't just wasting your time. So it looks like they're growing on mulch. So it's a possibility they could be some sort of turkey tail or false turkey tail, looking at their kind of dish shape sort of thing there. But send me a picture of the underside, especially one close up with a magnifying glass if you can. Hey, Serenity, long time. Hope you're coming out to Jesse H. Jones this Saturday. Homeschool person. Awesome. The yeah, so Chris, send me a picture of the underside, especially with a magnifying glass or something to see if I can see any pores or non-pore like structures. So yeah, cat's ears popping up. I even have the goldenrod seedlings starting to pop up, even though the goldenrod is flowering right now. I saw some creeping buttercup, which is actually poisonous, so you don't want to mess with that. But yeah, the winter is here, and all the winter plants are just exploding from the ground. I even saw some bittercress, which is awesome. And it's a little early again, but it seems like the winter plants are showing up a little earlier than normal. Well, like the last few years, winter has shown up earlier. So we'll see what's happening. What else do we hear? Checking the underside of the mushrooms. I'm afraid to visit a Dollar Tree at night. Oh, come on, Chris. You're military. You got this. Oh, it is Dollar Tree. Good point. Interesting fact about Dollar Tree. Something that we'd sell stuff to Dollar Tree. The Dollar Tree's game plan, and they're just about there, is to have a store within 5 miles of everyone in the United States. So pretty much everyone in the United States, somewhere within a 5-mile radius of where they are, the plan is to be a Dollar Tree, which is, it says a lot about something, but I'm not sure what it says a lot about, but definitely something. Oh, you're working in Texas Renfest again all weekend. Okay, so originally we were planning on going to Renfest the Friday, Thanksgiving Friday, but we'll see. If I have a job by then yes. But if I'm still unemployed, we'll be pinching those pennies. So, and the Renfest, even though it's one of my most favoriteest things to do every year, it's a somewhat expensive thing to do every year. So, oops, we got more here. Why is this not working? Oh, hey, Chris. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Another old timey. It's great seeing this. This is like, especially when you get laid off or when there are layoffs at work, suddenly people you've been friends with for a long, long time just disappear. And, sometimes you never see them again. At least in the oil industry, sometimes there will be a conference. You can meet up with old friends there. But other times, especially like where I was at the packaging service company Semper Avant, there's a good chance that I'm not going to see any of them ever again. And that makes me sad because they were a great group of people. Plus they have my really cool coffee mug, so I need to get that back. So I will see them at least once more to get my coffee mug. We like cheap crap. Well, yeah, that's kind of what Dollar Tree says. Convenient Cheetos. Oh, Gary, that's impossible. I'm 50 miles from the nearest town. The next closest town is Kerrville, about 60 miles away. Just you wait. It's coming. You might even want to Google. There might be one hidden in the woods. I have driven through miles of East Texas woods, and suddenly there's a Dollar Tree there. I expect a guy, with wearing someone else's face and holding a chainsaw to be manning the register. But it's freaky. Way out in West Texas, they got them plunked down, and yeah, they're out there. And if you buy their tiki torch fuel, it was made by, the company I used to work for, not Wazoo Survival Gear. Wazoo Survival Gear actually makes really awesome quality stuff. Packaging service did too, but Wazoo Gear still makes it. So excellent there. And I thought I saw Nick here. Let me see. Is Nick? Oops. Yep. Hey, Nick. Hopefully you're still watching. Goats don't spend money. No, goats cost money. Goats are like kids. Sorry, my mind went, well, technically they are kids, and then everything locked up. But yeah, goats are expensive. I guess the difference is you can eat a goat. So there's that. Pick cent. Okay, good. Thank you, Cami. I really want to see these. In fact, I'm just going to pop over. Well, it hasn't. Oh, there it is. Let's see what these. I don't know if you can see when I'm doing. Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely jelly, white jelly. That's really cool. If you let these will get significantly bigger than the Woods ears will. These will end up being like the size of a softball or even bigger. So yeah, white jelly fungus. Very cool mushroom. I was up at Big Thicket Saturday on a mushroom walk up there. Excellent park ranger there, Ranger Elvin, what was his name? He was a really cool dude. And so we had a good class from him. But we saw one of those jelly mushrooms there. It was really cool. So yeah, white jelly mushroom. The clear one is probably different now that I think about it. But yeah, it's in the same family. It's just when I was looking it up after the plant walk last week, or the mushroom walk up at Big Thicket, what I could find on there is edibility unknown, but then it did mention that the other members of the species are eaten. So we'll see. Goat's milk is yummy. Yes, it is. And the soap and stuff too is good. Oh man, now I want goat cheese. Oh, that would be good. All right. Ooh, Canyonlands Big. Yeah. It seems to be very man. There's just a lot of mushrooms up at the Big Thicket. Exciting news about the Big Thicket. Talking to long-haired blonde ranger guy, he actually said you are allowed to harvest 1 pint of berries or nuts from inside the Big Thicket National Preserve while you were there. So 1 pint per person of berries or nuts. So that's really cool. I don't know if that's a new change or something, but if you go to the Big Thicket National Preserve, bring a pint container and collect berries or nuts. Now you cannot collect mushrooms from there. The mushrooms are protected at the Big Thicket National Preserve, but you can harvest mushrooms at the Sam Houston National Forest and the Angelina National Forest and the Davy Crockett National Forest. The National Forests, the National Preserves, the National Grasslands, the National Parks, and all that have different rules, which makes it even more complicated. Raul, let's see. Hey, Mark, recently I noticed goldenrod blooming. Could you go over some of the uses of flowers medicinally and in the kitchen? Yes, certainly. Okay, so goldenrod flowers, those are the big pyramidal clusters of flowers, kind of this color. If it was, well, anyway, enough looking at my chest. Yeah, so they're the pyramidal golden flowers out there. Word of warning, well, not so much warning, but a word of sustainability and conservation. The goldenrod is usually the last flower of the fall, and so it is the last source of nectar for bees. So they are, taking all the nectar and in the process pollinating the goldenrod, but taking all the nectar to make sure they have, enough honey to get through the winter. So keep that in mind. So really, really, really limit your harvest. That being said, I don't know if you can see this. This is goldenrod flowers. Nope. This is actually burdock root. Never mind. 1 second. Ooh. Okay. Oops. So yeah, this is a tincture of goldenrod in vodka, the goldenrod flowers. So since we have the flowers now, and that's the best thing to be harvesting, what I like to do, I wish I had an empty jar. I don't. You'll just have to kind of look at this. And hopefully, it's hard to not have, wait. I came prepared. paper. Okay, so you have a canning jar. You want to take the flowers, and let's say this is a quart jar, like this size. You can see I probably have it filled up, like 3 to 4/5 of the way up, and then I have the vodka over the top of that. So V for vodka. F for flowers. Now, you can use vodka or, I'm trying to, wow, it sucks not having two cameras. All right, wait a minute. Aha. Okay, so you can use vodka, you can use brandy. The main thing is you want something that is between 80 and 100 proof alcohol, just to make sure it remains shelf stable and will kill any of the microbes that will be hanging out on the flowers, because there's pollen, there's fungi, there's all sorts of stuff. There's microbes, there's yeast, there's all sorts of little microbes that will be on the flowers. So with 80 to 100 proof, that will be enough to sterilize the flowers and preserve everything, and just keep it stable. Now, the medicinal uses of the goldenrod flowers. Why would you make a tincture like this? For one thing, then you can store it. You don't lose any of the medicinal properties, but it is the best way of describing goldenrod medicinal value is it keeps fluids where fluids need to be kept. So examples of what I mean, one of the best ones is, or one of the worst ones, depending on your point of view, is varicose veins. Varicose veins occur when your capillary tissue starts to be weakened. I'm like pointing capillaries. Imagine I have capillaries here. Your capillary tissue weakens and the blood can seep out and start to pool around the capillaries, and you get the big black marks in the, do I have, maybe you would be able to lift my foot up here, but I don't have any, the big black marks, and they're painful and they hurt, and it leads to circulatory issues. The goldenrod, there's compounds scientifically proven, I'm a chemist, I need to see proof, it's been shown, that it helps strengthen those capillary walls, and then so the blood doesn't seep out. I keep screwing up the lighting here. The blood doesn't seep out. It stays in the capillaries except for the amount that is normally supposed to seep out. And then it can get back in. And if you have really bad varicose veins, it can take up to a year or more before you see them go away. But they'll definitely stop getting any worse and then slowly start to get better. So varicose veins, capillaries, that's one system. Another, the lymph system. If you have a problem with a lot of swelling, water retention, that sort of thing, the goldenrod, especially with a little bit of dandelion root, if you have some of that around, is really good because it will help the lymph system flow. It'll help the lymph not ooze out and stay out. It will go in and out and do what it's supposed to do, kind of extract the toxins from the cells, so you don't get the swollen joints as much that you would get if you weren't using the lymph system strengthener. Another thing is a runny nose, allergies, sinus issues, colds, that sort of thing. Your nose starts oozing all sorts of stuff. Now, keep in mind, though, the reason it is running like it is it's trying to flush, whatever might be in there causing the irritation and causing the problems out. So if you stop or lessen the runny nose by taking the goldenrod, you in some cases you might actually lengthen the time of the disease because you're not flushing it out. So in that case, you definitely want to throw some elderberry or some other immune system stimulant in there, self-heal, sweet gum sap, different things like that, things that have that immune system fighting, that helps the immune system. So there's that. And then finally, the last fluid-based system is a hydraulic system, generally male-oriented. Let's just say goldenrod. So it's been shown to help with some issues where things are not as pumped up and fluid filled as you would like it to be. So there's that. Ooh, Alex, yes, Ranger Alex. So those are the uses for the goldenrod. Basically, keeping fluids where they're supposed to be. Dosage wise, whoops, wrong one. So if you're having an issue, really start with like a teaspoon a day. A lot of times you can throw it in like some hot tea at night or sleepy time tea, but it's a good thing to have, just like I said, to keeping the fluids in where you need them. All right, let's see. Let's see. Okay, so Ranger Alex, goats in my garden today, freeze tonight, so garden is history. Oh, that sucks. Oops, Terrence. Well, I need to load up on hickory nuts and the big. Oh yeah. At least a pint at a time. Bring lots of friends. It looks like you got a family there. Everyone gets a pint. Wade, I have chanterelles in a handful of places on property. Best to leave alone, or is there an easy way to promote growth to enlarge the patches? Okay, so the chanterelles, I have not I've come across any good way of spreading them by human interference. I have yet to find a record of that. Keep in mind, most chanterelles, they form a symbiotic relationship with oak trees. And one thing I have been doing is I have some oak trees in my backyard. So when I've collected chanterelles, I've tried, putting some by the oaks. I've tried, chopping them up and putting them by the oaks. And I've tried multiple ways for 7 or 8 years now. And I've never successfully got anything that worked, and I've never read anything that worked. There is some vector we don't know about, or at least that I haven't been able to find out about, that transports the chanterelles to different places. I would be patient, and just because they do spread, because remember, the chanterelles, what you're seeing, the mushroom on the surface is basically the fruit of the fungi. Most of it is going to be the mycelium, the strands of mushroom that are going through all the dirt and along the roots and everything. A lot of what you see, well, you don't see most of the mushrooms. Think of mushrooms like icebergs. What you see is just a very small part of the entire mushroom. So as far as over harvesting, if you are okay with the size that your patch is, you can take quite a few of them. If you want the patch to grow, you want those mushrooms there dispersing the spores. So I really, in general, if you want it to grow, I would not take more than 1/4 of the patch at a time. I would really try and just leave as many mushrooms there to spread their love and hope for the best. Would goldenrod honey carry any of the medicinal benefits of the flower itself? From Kevin. Very unlikely. Honey, let's see, how much? Yeah, a lot of the compounds are more strongly attached to the goldenrod flower and actually inside the flower, and are not going to be picked up by the bees and brought back to the hive. And Kenneth, hopefully here you can speak up as to how many flowers it takes to get enough nectar to make a pint of honey, but it's an astounding amount of flowers, which means if the bees were picking up any of the medicinal properties, it's still going to be so dilute that it would probably have no effect whatsoever. You're much better at collecting the flowers, making a tincture, making a tea, mixing the honey in with it, because the honey does have some really good medicinal properties in its own right, and go that way. Okay, Terrence, the farthest I've found a record of morels is Waco, Texas. Supposedly there is a documented form, I want to say, on the north outskirts of Waco, Texas. As far as farther south than that, well, okay, correction. Austin also has them, but Austin has a very unique soil that is absolutely perfect for morel mushrooms. But generally, the traditional woods sort of things where you would find morels, Waco, with a little finger dipping down through the Austin and the chalk rock sort of thing there, the Austin chalk. So, like, I've never found any in the Sam Houston National Forest. There's no record of them in the Sam Houston National Forest. I've never found them in the Davy Crockett. I've had a few people say they have, but again, I found no reliable documentation. A couple of things for morel mushroom hunting. They are a symbiotic mushroom. They like to grow with specific trees like ash and elm in particular. But two things that really help. One, they need a very high pH soil. If you remember from high school chemistry, pH is a measure of acid, and you would think that a high pH means a really acidic soil, but actually a really acidic acid, a really strong acid, is a low pH. Low pH. A high pH is the basic or the caustic, the sodium hydroxide sort of materials. And a really excellent source of these things that will increase the pH of the soil is the ashes from a hardwood fire. When you burn hardwood, so oak, elm, hickory, maple, mesquite, not pine. Pine is a softwood. So you want the hardwoods. Basically, if it has leaves, it's probably a hardwood. Basic rule of thumb. But the ashes of the hardwood, if you have a fireplace or there was a wildfire or something like that, that will produce ash, which then increases the pH of the soil, raises it up to where it is beneficial, where the mushroom goes, yeah, this is what I need to survive. And so it will put up that wonderful morel mushroom, what you think of as the mushroom, but it's actually the mushroom. And it triggers the growth. So that's the first thing that you need to trigger it, is a high pH. The second is that the soil temperature has to be above 50 degrees. So it'll have to drop below 50 degrees. But then when the soil temperature comes back up above 50 degrees, it tells the morel mushroom, hey, it's time to pop up and do your mushroom thing. And then it will stick around up until mid 60 degree Fahrenheit. Once the soil temperature at the surface gets like above 65, the morel mushrooms pretty much just shut down. So hopefully that will help you in your hunt. Look for burned areas, look for hardwood areas. Remember, private property, you can't harvest in any of the state parks, and you definitely don't want to be caught harvesting in the Austin city parks. They charge a huge fine for that, because the mushrooms, they play an important role in the ecosystem. And when everyone starts pulling them up, you reduce the amount of mycelium around if you keep harvesting the mushroom fruit, and you don't want that. So hopefully that helps you with morel mushrooms. If you go to Foraging, Texas, there's a thing on morel mushrooms there that will give you more information. Astros still 1-0. Thank you, Miguel. Okay, Kemi, how much do you drink per day of the goldenrod tincture? I usually just do a teaspoon. If I feel anything coming on, I may up it to 2. I could probably handle more, but I find 2, I being a really tall guy, 6'5", I find I have circulatory issues in my hands and feet. My hands and feet get really, really, really cold. And with just a teaspoon a day of the tincture, I find that's enough to improve the circulation where I'm not having a problem. In cold weather, I do increase it though, also there. So there. Okay, Paulina, I've been noticing a lot of Thralis in the landscape. Any experience with this plant? No, unfortunately, no. I haven't. There's a lot of plants out there that I haven't had a chance to explore. So I will definitely make note of that. Gulfian glaucoma. Interesting. I'm wondering if that is related to the rabbit tobacco some. Or anxiety. It's hard to beat the passion flower. No, the passion vine flower. It's really fast. Okay, so now we get to talk about anxiety and the brain and stuff. So a lot of times anxiety, one of the issues is you have a lower than normal amount of gamma aminobutyric acid, also known as GABA in chemical terms in the brain. And it's one of the hormones that helps regulate the serotonin. And then without serotonin, you get all edgy and nervous and upset, and it's not good. The issue with gamma, the gamma aminobutyric acid, is if you consume it, it can't pass through what's called the blood-brain barrier. Your brain has a film on it, kind of that works as an airlock that only certain molecules can get through. Either way, from the blood into the brain. It's very, very, very protective. It's an extra, think of an extra layer of protection to keep bad things out. Unfortunately, sometimes it also keeps good things out, like the gamma. So just taking gamma has proven to be ineffectual for dealing with anxiety. But there's something odd. There's some other compound in the passion vine flower. The passion vine flower is loaded with this gamma stuff, but you wouldn't think it'd be able to get through the brain. But there's something that works as a carrier and brings it through the blood-brain barrier. They don't know what it is yet. There's a lot of work being done on it. Maybe not a lot, probably not enough, but they're trying to figure out why the passion vine flower, with its high amount of GABA, can get it through the blood-brain barrier, because traditionally just taking that compound doesn't do anything. You need the flower. So that's really cool. Yeah, Tina, I can believe with your knee. Okay, Jacqueline. Herbalist Jim McDonald also said similar to arnica flower. I always hate saying words out loud that I've only read. And the salve or oil topically for muscle pain and bruises to help circulation and prevent blood clots. Yeah, okay, that actually makes sense. That a goldenrod salve. Wow, that's what I need to rub on me before long car rides and airplane trips, just because I'm always worried about the blood clot issue, and definitely the bruises. That's interesting. And then, of course, the arnica flower is really good for bruises and muscle pain and stuff like that. Yep, Kevin, you are absolutely right. Medicinal uses for May apple. Late spring in the East Texas woods, there'll be this very odd-looking plant. Let's see, maybe I can bring a picture up. I have it on foragingtexas.com. Let's see, May apple. So this is one plant that produces 2 leaves and only 2 leaves. There's a shot of it. So out in the East Texas wood, and then right from that center, it produces a flower and then a fruit. This fruit is really, really small. Well, right now in this picture, this is a very unripe fruit. The fruit ends up getting about the size of an egg, almost a kiwi. And here's a map of where you find it. I have never successfully found the ripe fruit in the wild, just because it is absolutely so delicious and nutritious, and the wild animals go crazy over it. So if anyone does have a picture of the May apple, Fruit, I would love to get it from you because I need some for the books I'm writing. Yay! I should probably talk about that. Yeah, so the one problem with the mayapple is the only time it is edible is when that fruit is ripe. When it's not ripe, it is at best a very, very potent laxative, to the point where you can end up dehydrated, and even especially younger or infirm or elderly or people who aren't good at taking care of themselves could even almost end up dead, probably. So you don't want to mess around with mayapple except when it's ripe. Yeah, mayapple. Terrence, so maybe you found something like Gus England, Wild Man. Okay. Possibly. Be careful though. You might want to check with the rangers or the people in charge about harvesting mushrooms there, because as a wildlife management area, you have a good chance because they allow hunting there, which usually the rangers at places where hunting is allowed, you have a shot at being allowed to harvest mushrooms. I would definitely check that out, especially where they burn under the oaks and the hickories. You have a good shot there. Hey, Michelle, miss you, Michelle. I wish you still lived here. How do you prepare the passion vine flower? Same. So same as with the goldenrod. So you have your quart jar, partially filled. The F is about 3/5. Oops. 3/5 flowers, and then fill up to almost the top with vodka. So it kind of looks like this. I've actually been sampling it, so it's a little lower. Whoops, I don't know if you can see that. I need more light. What if I do that? Oh, hey, maybe that'll work. And then just a teaspoon a day. If you know you're going to be coming up to something where you have social interactions, you can take some there. Keep in mind, you're also taking at least a teaspoon of vodka or otherwise 80 to 100 proof alcohol. So watch out for that. Also, depending on what other medications and you may be on, you want to double check there's nothing going on there. Christy Megan, shocked about the brain barrier. So, okay, you may not know, I actually have a master's in medicinal chemistry. So I studied medicine. I would love to know if you believe all vaccines are safe. Hot topic, so I understand if you ignore this or send it in a message. Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I say for the most part, like all the horror stories about mercury and so forth in there is bullshit. I mean, I actually calculated how much mercury you get from the average vaccine, and it's in the number of atoms. It's such a tiny amount that I tell people, if you've ever crossed the street, you've put yourself at an infinitely higher risk than the vaccines. Now, the issue, though, with the vaccines is how many they give you in such a short time period. Definitely, my personal thing is, it's really convenient for the doctors. It's really convenient for the, insurance or Medicare or whatever, the sort of things to, load up the kids right there and then, which I think is where the problems are causing. As far as autism, I do not believe vaccines cause autism. None of the scientific research supports that. I know I'm pissing off a lot of people. I don't care. I'm a scientist. I deal with research and data and facts. So be it. I believe in gravity. I believe in the beneficial nature of vaccines. Just to put things in perspective, some of you may know my dad actually contracted polio when he was 3. Luckily, obviously he didn't die. He's still alive, but he lost the use of one leg. And to this day, he still has nightmares of just the lines of kids in iron lungs who were just trapped in this machine breathing for them. And so when I think of people not being vaccinated, I think of my dad and all the crap he had to go through his life because the polio vaccine had not been invented yet. It appeared too late for him. If you watch the news, polio is making a comeback, And my dad is just beside himself with anger over this because, yeah, it's resulting in the kids losing, the use of body parts or worse. And so, yeah, I have that in my background as far as understanding the value of not getting diseases. All right, chinkapin acorns, chinkapin trees drop their nuts. Okay, yeah, so you're late for the chinkapins. They are more of a midsummer, late summer type nut. So you'll have to wait until next year to get them. Hey, Mark, good time. Man, it's like the whole gang is back together. Oh, cool. Oh, hey, Terrence. No, you're not the Terrence that runs the kid turkey hunting thing. Probably not. Bummer. Dry the goldenrod and passion. Okay, so the nice thing about flowers is they are relatively delicate. And so you don't have to do the drying process that you would normally do with leaves. So when I'm working with flowers, I put them directly in the alcohol, no drying beforehand. And, mash it up, muddle it, and let it go. One of the reasons you don't like to muddle green leaves is it releases a lot of the chlorophyll. And whereas chlorophyll does have some health benefits, it doesn't. It has kind of a bad taste, and so it makes the stuff, taste bad. And who wants bad tasting medicine? With the GABA and POC group that work the same as Passiflora, Tina, I do not know. Just because I have not found any research. Like I said, if you just consume the GABA, take it internally, orally, there's something that keeps it from passing through the blood-brain barrier. So, like I said, there's something about the Passiflora incarnata flower, the passion vine flower, that helps carry it through. If I was going to do that, I would mix a little bit of the passion flower with the POC. But POC, I'm still leery about POC because that's an upper level herbalist type stuff. And also, if you overdose on the the GABA and over serotoninize your brain, there's problems there too. Yeah. Yep. Mark, perfect. Sodium is explosive. Chlorine is mustard gas, but together they're wonderful. Sodium chloride. All right. Joe Gilman. 1998, my mother, a nurse, went to the UN World Conference on how polio would be eradicated by 2000, 2005, and now she's quite angry at how it's come back. Yeah, she should be. Oh, cool. Astros are up. Astros are too. Okay, maybe you are the Terrence that I talked to a long time ago about that. Cool. All right. Yeah. Man, I wish I need to have less time. I need more time. I need to be doing less stuff. All right. Yeah. Hey, I got time now. So Terrence, yeah, let's see if we can set something up again. The power of whole herbs. Exactly. Jacqueline makes a good point there. Medicine by FDA regulations really can only have one active component in that. So they have to go through the plant, pick out one molecule from the plant and say, this molecule is the medicine. And it doesn't work that way. Usually there's all sorts of synergism and stuff going on that makes the whole plant work, fully, I guess. You need the whole thing. You can't just extract one molecule. And the camera is really having a hard time focusing on me. You can't just pull one molecule out of the plant and say, this is the medicine. Hey, Kevin, I know you're hunting youths. I've seen your wife. She's young. All right. What else? Wow. Whoa, wow. 8:59. Guess what, folks? We're pretty much at the end here. This is awesome. I feel like we've just started talking. So let me just let's see if this will work. Yes. Just again, the sponsors up. Remember, right now I don't have a job, so this is one of the ways I'm making the money here through the links here. So I do get a kickback between 6 and 20%. 20% from Wazoo Survival. They're awesome. Yay! Yeah, but if you buy anything from here, it does help things out. Prayers, job tips, chance to go pig hunting, turkey hunting, things like that. Yeah, let's try and set something up. So it is 9 o'clock. Let's see, there's one thing. Yeah, so thank you all for coming. See you next week. I don't know if it'll be just this situation again. Hopefully it will be, or hopefully it'll be better. But I'll be here. All right. On that note, yeah, love you too. Thank you all. Happy Sam. That's another word I don't know how to pronounce. Samhain. All right, everyone. I'm going now. Bye-bye.